Hello again. So in the fall we did a witch's hat that I think everybody really liked. Even people at work came up to me and was like, "Wow, that witch's hat was great." So now I want to do a Santa hat because um, I have the witch's hat that I may have bought quite a few of in the fall so that I could actually do these projects. I have my self-healing mat, my rotary cutter. I just have a roll of Deco mesh. This one, I think I got at Menards. It was like $8 for this because unfortunately, for some reason, we are having a heck of a time getting the mesh at Dollar Tree this year. But they did have this year, and this is called mesh ribbon. It's 9 feet long, and this is what we're going to use to cover the top of the hat with. And I like this a lot better than the Deco mesh because it's smaller and it's more flexible, has a little bit more give to it. I'm going to use whatever you call these. I call them pipe cleaners. I've already cut these in half just because you don't always need that much extra hanging out. So I just cut it to the size I need. So I get double my money's worth out of a pack of pipe cleaners. I have two different colors of ribbon today. I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use as much of the green because green's not the main color in this. I think the red and the white is. But I also brought out some with candy canes and little candy on it. I just think it'll be really cute. So we'll use about half as much of the green as we do the other. So we're going to start out, and I'm just going to cut the tag off of this. And I don't need my scissors anymore. So just like the other wreath, we're going to start out ripping off this cute little boo because we don't need it. I'm actually going to leave the top part on. This black I'm going to leave on there. I practiced this earlier with a different one and it actually doesn't hurt anything. It actually kind of makes it look a little bit fuller with the red, and I'm just going to leave it there. So you don't have to. You can take it off if you want. I am, though, going to take off everything from the purple down. And if you refer back to the Halloween one we did, you can see where we're going to put all of our little bundles once we make them. I'm not going to do that again to show you because you can refer back if you like. But if you remember correctly, I believe there was 21 bundles that we used. So I'm going to make 21 bundles. We have our standard Deco mesh. Actually, let's start with this. Let's get this out of the way. I can't remember if I used one or two of these on the one in the house. So I actually brought two just in case. Again, this moves so much more free than the Deco mesh itself. And when I was still there yesterday, although we had no Deco mesh, there was a bunch of this left. So I just make sure it's firm because I don't want anything sticking out that looks like it's not within the shape of our hat. You know how with Deco mesh you kind of get those pieces sticking up and it's hard to wrap around because of the shape of the Deco mesh? This is so much easier. You can do this however you want. I just kind of tucked it in. This is what we have. And you kind of get a hint of the black, but you can't really, it doesn't really make that big of a difference, I don't think. So we're going to set that aside. And now we're going to start the cutting. We're going to cut our Deco mesh at 9 inches. And I think I'm officially done with these. I know I said that once before. I know. So what I'm going to do is I'm just kind of going to let my Deco mesh roll off the edge. So now I'm going to cut right at the 9. And again, this is a self-healing mat, but I always feel like I do better if I go in different places instead of always just at the 9. So I think I need 21 bunches of 2. I'm going to go ahead and start cutting some of my green and my candy cane. Because after I show you how to cut a few, I'm going to go ahead and step off and cut the rest, and then I'll come back. So these are going to be at 9 also. And the idea with them being at 9 is that our Deco mesh is 6 inches long. So I want this to stick out further than my Deco mesh because we're going to roll this Deco mesh up. So this is what it's going to look like, kind of. And I want this to be longer. I want the pretty ribbon to be the focal point instead of the Deco mesh. So I'm going to cut that at 9, and I'm also going to cut this at 9. And I have the wired ribbon, so it's a little harder to cut. You want to make sure you get all the way through. Remember that time that I told you we were done with our scissors? That could have been wrong. I forgot I have to do the dog ears. So on the ribbon, what I do, and I don't know why, this is just how I do it. I always turn it inside toward each other on the design part. And then I cut the little line. You can see that's how we've done those. And we're going to do the same thing with our green. So there we go. We have our 2 pieces. You see how to do that? I'm probably going to fast forward through this now so you can see me. Okay. So we have 23. Whoops, got a couple extra. So we have our bows cut, our ribbons cut. We need 17 more bundles of Deco mesh. If you remember from the last video, really the preparation takes the longest. Once you start putting it together, it kind of flies together. 36, 37, 38. So we need 2 more sets. So now we'll trim the edges. And we're almost ready to assemble. Okay, we have all of our green. All we have left is our candy canes, and then we can actually start putting this baby together. And once we start putting it together, it goes very quickly. We're ready to start assembling. For each one that we're going to assemble, we're going to have 2 pieces of Deco mesh, either just a candy cane or a candy cane and a green. We're going to alternate. You'll see. So we're ready to start the fun. So we're just going to roll these up. Doesn't have to be too tight. In fact, I think it looks better if it's kind of loose. And I try to kind of get them going different directions here to make it look fuller. And I'm going to actually put the green under because, again, it is not the color I'm trying to highlight. I'm just going to tie it together. The idea is for it not to necessarily lay on top of each other. We want to see them both. I didn't do a very good job of getting it in the middle there. So now the next one I'm going to do with just candy cane. And I try to make these pretty snug because I don't want to move it around. I want it to just stay the way I have it. So I'm going to put that one in a different location than the other one, just because I want to keep the green in one place and the candy cane in another. So that way when I start making it, I'm going to go every other one. So I don't want to dig through the pile to find them. I just want to pull from a separate pile. And I try to make my pipe cleaners match my project, even though the goal is that in the end my pipe cleaners won't be able to be seen. But just in case, I like to know that they match the project. You also don't have to turn the pipe cleaners that much. I just do because I want them to stay sturdy. 1 or 2 turns would probably do just fine. When I put these in, I kind of make a crisscross out of the 2 ribbons, and that has been beneficial to making sure that that green shows through. Again, it's not the center of attention, but I want it to be seen. Okay, we're ready. We're going to start attaching. So this is where we bring our hat back in. And I'm going to start with the green. I'm going to start at the very end of my witch's hat. And then I'm going to alternate to no green. And then on the inside, I'm going to put one with no green as well, of this little tip of the hat. Okay. Now the next one down here would be with the green. And then I'm going to go up here on the top with a no green. And then I'm going to switch it around on the next one. So I'm going to do the top with green and the bottom with no green. So as you can see, it kind of blends nice. So I'm going to do the next one on the top. With no green. And the bottom with green. And we're going to alternate again. And the bottom's going to have no green. Now down here on the end already, this does not take long. I want to put a no green here on the end, or a green here on the end. And since I had a green on the other tippy, on the other tip of the hat, I'm going to put a no green on the tip of this one. There it is. Now, for this one, I'm going to put the green one on top just because it has the longer pipe cleaner. And I'm going to put it right around the end here. And I found one more green that I made. So I found a spot in the middle that I think I want to put that in. So I'm just going to pop it right in there. And this is going to go actually on the middle bar. Now all it needs is some fluffing and it's complete. You can also, I actually, for the one I have at work, I have a Santa's hat already at work. I took the bells that we used in our witch's hat, and they were green and red, but I just kind of wanted them to sparkle more because this is so sparkly. So what I did was I took those bells and I coated them in Mod Podge, and then I dipped them into red and green glitter. And I put one here and kind of put them throughout here. You can't necessarily see them as well down here because this is kind of busy. But up here it made a nice little focal point in the center. So if you have any questions or anything, drop them down below. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed watching this. Have a great day.